Everyone is buzzing about the rain, sleet, and snow falling in different areas of Hampton Roads. You're looking at video of a wintry mix coming down in Norfolk. That was not long ago. Good evening. I'm David Allen.
And I'm Janet Roach. Jeff, no major accumulation here.
No, not even minor accumulations for most areas. I've looked out 3 different times here in the last hour or two and seen a pretty decent snow percentage. About 70% of it at one point was snow with about 30% rain. Right now, though, we just have a lot of low clouds. You look at this and you say, oh, there's nothing at all around. Well, we've been talking for a few days how the really low-level stuff that's very light is not getting picked up because the Wakefield radar is down. So luckily we can look at the surface observations, our various Skyview cameras, and we do know that there's still some pockets of light precipitation, generally a mix with a little bit of snow around. Certainly the steadiest of the precipitation is now well off to the north, but some of what we're watching out here near Richmond is going to circle around later this evening and into the early part of the overnight, and then head at us. So right now we're at 37. No way we get anywhere even close to freezing for most areas tonight. There's no wind, so even if we do get that changeover, again, no accumulation expected for most of us. Minor accumulations in some northern areas. This is Wachapreague. We've been watching the snowflakes. We've been watching them again on our Skyview here. In terms of the chances of seeing significant sort of heavy enough bursts to give you measurable snow, 20%, that's it. It is just going to be some light flurries, a little light rain mixed in once in a while this evening as temperatures drop back through the 30s. Another storm, though, coming. This one even a little bit better shot at winter weather within the next 3 days. I'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Today's storm is the 5th time we've seen snow in Hampton Roads this year, and many people are hoping it is the last. Pull out your smartphone right now and tell us whether you're sick of the winter weather. Vote on the 13 News Now app or on 13newsnow.com/vote. One area that's seeing some snow today is Williamsburg, and that's where we find 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens.
David, we're not seeing the heavier flurries like we saw earlier here in Williamsburg, just these light flurries throughout the afternoon, and at times it looks like rain. So I guess there's no need for this thing right here, the official 13 storm mode yardstick, but hey, it's coming down. And people I spoke to earlier today say whatever it is, they're over it. Here we go again.
I just feel like we've had enough already. That's the way I feel.
Another round of snow, maybe not as much as we've seen so far this year, but many people say enough is enough.
When it gets heavier, I stay home.
Janet Walker lives in Williamsburg. I caught up with her just before she started her grocery shopping.
I like it better when it sticks, but since I'm out driving, I'd rather have it like this today.
It started as a rain and drizzle in Williamsburg, then quickly turned into snow you see here.
I was like, Lord, is it ever going to get in the sunlight?
This is the 5th snow event and 4th nor'easter in Hampton Roads this year.
I've had enough of it. I thought I was going to be free of it. I was ready to see flowering trees and crocuses and more daffodils, and I wake up this morning after breakfast and here comes the snow.
Students at the College of William and Mary didn't let the cold rain and light flurries stop them from going to class. Walker hopes this is the last we see of this kind of weather until next year.
Whatever comes, I can handle, I guess.
Yeah, so I've been in our official 13 News Now mobile weather lab all day. It's really been a wet commute, nothing sticking to the roads, to the ground, so your drive home tonight should be fine. You should be safe. Live in Williamsburg, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
All right, thanks, Nico. Are you sick of that winter weather? Keep voting live on the 13 News Now app or on 13newsnow.com/vote. We'll have your results tonight at 6.
All right, the radar at the National Weather Service in Wakefield is out of service today, so our meteorologists are asking for your help to tell the weather story. Head over to our 13 News Now Facebook page to share photos or video and let us know where you are. Well, coming up in about 10 minutes, 13 News Now investigative reporter Laura Geller joins us, and she spoke with the National Weather Service and asked them why the radar is down during this nor'easter. Join in the conversation on Facebook or Twitter, and you can also share your storm stories with us by emailing your photos and videos to share it at 13newsnow.com.
Live look at our traffic network. The weather could cause some messy conditions for some during the evening commute. State police say they've responded to more than 240 traffic crashes since midnight, and they are asking drivers to avoid going out in the wet weather. The storm is also causing major problems at the airport. Several flights are canceled in and out of Norfolk International. More than 4,000 flights have been canceled at airports across the East Coast. So check before you go. Click the flight tracker tile on the 13 News Now app. We've seen a good amount of snow in Hampton Roads this year. The first snowstorm of 2018 dropped more than 10 inches between January 3rd and 4th. Just a couple of weeks later, remember this one? January 17th, we got hit again. Not as bad, more than 2 inches of snow then. Then there was a light dusting on January 30th. March 12th, we got lots of rain, another 2 inches of snow. Not counting any snow we might see today, that's more than 15 inches of snow so far this year.
Well, this winter weather is delaying the return of the Virginia Beach-based jet squadron involved in a deadly crash in Florida. The Fighting Black Lions will return to Naval Air Station Oceana tomorrow. Lieutenant Commander James Johnson and Lieutenant Caleb King were killed when their Super Hornet went down near NAS Key West during training last week. The Navy is still investigating, and the squadron was originally set to come home today. 13 News Now will be at Oceana for the squadron's return tomorrow.
This just into the newsroom. Norfolk police say they've arrested 2 juveniles in connection with the murder of a 15-year-old boy. One is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Damon Persons. The other is charged as an accessory. Persons was found dead on Corprew Avenue Monday. Police aren't releasing any other tales about this case just as of yet. We will update you, though, when we do learn more.
Also, just in, the superintendent for the Hampton Roads Regional Jail is resigning immediately. Ronaldo Myers hasn't been there long, and this is video of him swearing in last March. He was hired after 2 high-profile deaths at the jail, and we're told he's stepping down so he can return to South Carolina and be closer to family. The jail authority says Myers made the decision on his own, and this has nothing to do with the issues he was brought in to change. Developing news in Norfolk, yellow tape blocks off the scene of the city's latest shooting, and this one happened on C Avenue in Huntersville, and now a man is dead, shot around mid-morning. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee is live outside Norfolk Police Headquarters. And Jacqueline, what do we know about this so far?
Janet, we know the victim is male and that he was shot to death earlier this morning. While the shooting happened in the Huntersville neighborhood, the neighbors I spoke with said the street where the shooting happened, which is C Avenue, is actually pretty safe.
I was in my room and I heard 4 shots. Boom, 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 boom.
It was a tough morning for Thalia Hines.
It hurt me because usually on this block we don't have anything, but I just knew that 4 shots, somebody was dead.
Police found a man shot to death in a driveway down the street from her home on C Avenue. As investigators canvassed the area, took pictures and recovered evidence, Canale Coley looked on.
To see this is like, wow, it's really shocking.
Coley said the man living in the home where the shooting happened is in his 50s.
I see him around, pretty often. Pretty cool guy, doesn't really bother anybody.
But police haven't released the victim's name, so Coley is still left wondering who it is, thinking it could have been anyone.
Whoever shot him could have shot him right in front of my house. I mean, bullets don't have names on them.
As for Hines, she said she's grieving for the man's family and is left wondering why this happened.
It just hurt me because that's someone's child, someone's loved one that was gunned down for whatever reason.
And a spokesperson for the police department said they don't have a suspect at this time, but they're actively pursuing leads. Live in Norfolk, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
15-year-old boy is charged with second-degree murder tonight. He's accused of stabbing a 37-year-old man to death. Officers found Rodney Livingston last night on a Nancock Trail in Newport News. Police say he had been stabbed several times and was pronounced dead at the scene. The teen's name is not being released since he is a minor. Police say the teen and Livingston knew each other.
New information in the fraud and forgery case against a Portsmouth councilman. Mark Whitaker's attorneys want the judge to disqualify the special prosecutor brought in for the case. Newly filed motions say the defense intends to call Andrew Robbins as a witness in the trial, and therefore he can't also prosecute the case. Whitaker's lawyers write Robbins' testimony about what happened during the special grand jury is relevant to the issue of bias against the councilman. A request to seal the motions was made, but the documents were still included in the public record. Right now, online court records show the trial is still delayed until July.